Hey, welcome back to our Expo 2. Tonight we're gonna watch a few videos and I hope you like it.
We're at the beginning of a genuine religious reawakening. And I think it's based on one thing, which is that the science is there. The science, up till now, the sort of Newtonian science, which is, more than 100 years out of date, sort of gave people the impression that the things you read in the Bible aren't so. They're like, that's not the way the world works. It works in a much more mechanical way. Science since then, and since Einstein, has really changed that. And all those arguments, those kind of assumptions have gone away. And I'm a very deep believer that God is real. And when I say that, I don't mean like, I believe that because it makes me feel better, the culture is better, or because it gives me comfort. It actually is kind of a pain in the neck. I believe it's as real as gravity. You can't see it, but you don't want to jump off a roof. And so I think that we are it's happening already. We're in the midst of something I've been predicting for a long time, which is a reawakening from the top down. The intellectuals are going to start converting. And this is the same thing that happened in the early 19th century with the Oxford movement in England. Suddenly people are going to say, oh, wait, the assumptions that have been the default for intellectuals have actually collapsed underneath us. And this is already happening. You should read, you should read my son's book, Light of the Mind, Light of the World, and also Ross Douthat's book, Believe, both really interesting books about this. And so I think that that's a thing that is happening. That's one thing that's happening. Religion does have its fundamentalists, its small-mindedness, its abuses, and all that. And those things, again, are going to come up with this movement. I think they're going to have their place. This is a multifaceted country. This is not a country with a single culture. It's a country with 1 million cultures spread out over a huge, vast, area. And so I think they're going to have their places. But I would like to see a little bit less of the craziness in high places. I would like to see somebody of solid and stolid faith come into office and just say, yes, we are going to talk about God. We're going to say, like the transgender thing is a perfect example. The right has a tendency to say, well, it's bad for you, or it's unnatural. And I said, it's no more unnatural than air conditioning, which I like. That's not the argument. The argument is it's a good thing. Creation is a good thing, and men and women are a good thing. The world was made to be good. It was not made to be bad. It gets corrupted, but it was made to be good. And men and women are actually, the fact that they're men and women is actually the most joyful aspect of human life, of mortal life. And that's a better argument. And I think that those are the kinds of arguments I want to see people make. I want to see people talk about religion as if it were the case, which is the way I think about it and the way I think people should talk about it. So the media hates God because it means that you can't do what the media wants you to do, which is screw everybody and change your sex and cut your children's penises off. And that's basically what they're playing for, So they don't like God. They don't like creation. They actually are, the people who say that the leftism or wokeism is a culture of death are right. It is a culture of death. It's based on abortion. It's based on, nobody has a human nature. It's based on the idea that marriage and children take you away from the fun things in life. It's a culture of death, and I think that that what the media does is, if you have 50 religious people, and this guy over here is a lunatic, they crowd around him, and it makes religion, look like that. If there's something that they think people will feel is small-minded, like the dislike of homosexuals, not dislike, the disapproval of homosexuality, that's the only question they'll ask you. They won't ask you, why are you a Christian? What is it you think the world, what do you think of the spiritual facts of the world? It's immediately stick a microphone in your face and say, why don't you like gays? And then take a picture of a teardrop running down the cheek of a gay person. And that's the end of the...
To be fair to them though, Andrew.
I hope you learned something. Subscribe, like, and comment. Bye-bye.